Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
Rain's back tonight, and it comes back again and again before the weekend. We'll time it all out for you coming up.
It's called a challenge trial, and you're about to meet two people volunteering to be infected with coronavirus to see if a vaccine really does indeed work.
But we'll begin with breaking coronavirus news coming from the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. That's where an emergency stay-at-home order has been issued for all undergraduate students.
Washtenaw County health officials say students must stay in their homes and residence halls with few exceptions. Sean Lay is live in Ann Arbor tonight getting reaction. So, Sean, when does this go into effect? Immediately, right?
Immediately, Kimberly, you are right. And the county is saying this is a stay-in-place, stay-at-home order. It is not a quarantine, but we're talking about 30,000 undergraduate students right now being told to stay in their residences. They can go to class, they can go to work. November 3rd, in November, they can go to vote. But for the next 2 weeks at least, they have to go right back home. Local 4 cameras on campus at the U of M as the news was breaking. Students reading the email from the Washtenaw County Health Department. Effective immediately, the county is issuing an emergency stay-in-place order for all undergrads, calling it a critical move to slow the number of COVID cases. Freshman Nick Granchelik was just on the phone with his mom back home in Chicago.
She said, well, what do you want to come home? So I consider I might go back to Chicago. And if I don't, I'm gonna for sure just not be leaving my dorm at all.
600 new cases of COVID just this week in the county. 61% have been linked to U of M students. The county says most of the new cases are the result of social events and other gatherings. Senior Sonia Vogel says she is not surprised. She thinks there should be more testing, more tracking of cases. She sees students putting themselves at risk and knew this could be coming.
I feel like that's pretty normal. Like if you've been trying to be safe and keep your distance from other people, I feel like things are pretty much the same. So, I mean, that's what I was thinking when I read the email. It just kind of like, if you're following the rules, it's going to stay pretty much the same.
We've been digging into the details from the county and from the school. The county says the stay-at-home or stay-in-place order is until November 3rd. The school, in a letter from the president, says at least until November 3rd, so the school may actually extend it if they don't see better numbers here. U of M's president also saying the school is in full support of the order. However, interesting to point out, guys, all sports are exempt from this order. Back to you.
So, Sean, what happens if students are found violating this order?
It's now a misdemeanor. Before, it was saying, hey, you guys got to break it up. You got to social distance, no parties. If that is found to be the case, then it's a misdemeanor and the students will get tickets.
Okay. Sean, thanks.
Well, let's look now at today's coronavirus numbers. The state reporting 1,586 new cases over the past 24 hours. And along with that, 22 more deaths in the state, including one that came from a review of past vital records. Today's number of new cases brings the 7-day moving average to 1,670, and that, I'm sorry to say, is the highest that it has been yet. With Governor Whitmer's COVID-19 emergency order struck down by the Michigan Supreme Court, GOP lawmakers are stepping in and offering up their own response plan.
Much like Governor Whitmer's response, they say it relies on data, but there is one key difference. Victor Williams is live tonight with what it is and how they expect it to work. Victor?
Yes, Devin and Kimberly. Good evening. Right now they're saying that this is going to be a way that they can give the power to the counties to choose how they want to handle procedures rather than how it's been done before by region.
Since COVID-19 was first identified in Michigan, not a day has gone by that I haven't heard from someone in my community who is concerned about the pandemic and the way our state's response is affecting their family life.
Michigan House Republicans revealing new plans to ease all that strain, changing COVID-19 response plans from what they believe to be one-size-fit-all methods and using more data-driven information to address the virus county by county.
We set out to make a plan that is actually based on science and data. And we use public health experts and doctors to formulate a plan that works for Michigan.
Overall, the goal is to give Michigan residents more certainty on COVID-19 precautions that reflect the conditions of local environments.
Is first and foremost, it'll keep people healthy and safe. But it also creates transparency that we have not seen before about how decisions are being made.
They're proposing health officials also have the option to follow the methods best for their area, including the number of gathering limits and restaurant capacity. Under the new plan, local residents and small businesses will have more of a say in what's being done.
And I've talked with many people who simply want clarification about decisions that are being made based on the data. The people we serve deserve better. They deserve to have a voice in determining the COVID-19 responses that are in place in their own communities.
The lawmakers have also gone on record saying they are open to a bipartisan partnership on the plan. And we did reach out to Governor Whitmer's office to see what she had to say about this plan. All we know as of right now is that she is going to be reviewing it, and then we'll hear from her then. Reporting live tonight, Victor Williams, Local 4.
So, Victor, what's next for the plan? Do we know?
Well, first, a bill is going to have to be introduced, and that's happening first thing tomorrow. We'll have to see if it's approved from there.
Okay, and we will be following it. Victor Williams, thanks.
New at 5, the Milford man arrested in connection with the alleged plot to kidnap Governor Whitmer is formally charged.
22-year-old Paul Beller appeared before a magistrate today via Zoom. He is facing several charges, including providing material support for terrorist acts and gang membership. Prosecutors say Beller, along with 13 others, conspired to kidnap the governor and overthrow the state government. He was arrested in South Carolina and extradited to Michigan. He's due back in court later this month.
We got a few peaks of the sun, but the rain is on its way once again.
Yeah, let's make our way over to Ben to see how we're doing this week. Hi, Ben.
Hey, Kim and Devin. Yeah, tonight we're going to get another round of it. Most of us will probably be already in bed when that happens, but it's the first of a few that's going to be rolling in here before the weekend. We will miss out on that big blue blob, though. That's all the snow that's going to parts of Wisconsin and the UP. Temperatures better than what we had yesterday at this time, but still not really even close to normal, about 10 degrees below with those numbers that are in the 50s. But watch what happens here over the next 24 hours. We actually see these temperatures rise overnight, so by the time we wake up tomorrow morning, we're going to start the day in the low 60s. We're not going anywhere. We're going to stay there pretty much through the afternoon. But temperatures, highs and lows are going to be in weird spots here over the next couple days, but progressively warmer temperatures overall. We'll look at that and see how many 70s we can find in the 7-day forecast in just a few minutes, guys.
All right, Ben. Election day, exactly 2 weeks from today, but while that's the official voting day, it has not stopped record numbers of voters from casting their ballots early. So Election Day is really already here. Susan McGinnis has the latest from the campaign trail, where the president today is headed to Joe Biden's backyard. Susan.
Devin, President Trump rallies today in Pennsylvania while Joe Biden hangs back to prepare for the debate on Thursday, one that promises to look, or rather sound, a lot different from the last one. Exactly 2 weeks before Election Day, President Trump and rival Joe Biden heading into the final stretch. The president heading to Pennsylvania today and was expected to be accompanied by First Lady Melania Trump, but her office says a persistent cough related to her COVID infection forced her to drop out. Even though COVID has hit close to home, the president counting on his go-to strategy of massive rallies, telling Fox News.
There's never been rallies with this kind of love and this kind of numbers. I mean, we're 40,000, 30,000.
The president has fallen behind Biden in Pennsylvania, and he's protesting a Supreme Court decision that ballots from that state can be counted up to 3 days after Election Day. Early voting in dozens of states is up 300% from 2016. Wisconsin joining the list today.
What's driving you to the poll this election cycle?
What is it? Everything is driving me here today.
Biden off the trail to prepare for Thursday's debate in Nashville, relying on ads to carry his message, some aimed at the Latino community.
Joe Biden nos permitiría arreglar los daños.
After the last debate featured near constant interruptions,
the question is, Justice, radical left. Will you shut up, man?
The Commission on Presidential Debate says it will mute the microphone of the candidate who's not speaking, enforcing the rules both sides agreed to that prohibit interruptions.
These people are not good people, this commission. A lot of funny things go on with them.
While complaining, the president saying he still plans to attend. President Obama campaigns for Joe Biden tomorrow in Philadelphia. President Trump plans as many as 5 events per day going forward. In Washington, Susan McGinnis, Local 4.
All right, Susan, now just in here at 5, Vice President Mike Pence is going to be making another campaign stop in our neck of the woods. That'll be Waterford on Thursday. Meantime, today, President Trump's youngest son, Eric, held a campaign event in Lansing. He has another stop coming up tonight in Washtenaw County. Meanwhile, Dr. Jill Biden, you see on the right, making several steps across Metro Detroit on behalf of her husband. And coming up at 6 o'clock tonight, Mara McDonald will have a look at both campaigns' messages to Michigan voters.
City of Detroit approves the sale of the former State Fairgrounds site. In a 6-2 vote, the sale moves forward with plans to build an Amazon distribution center on that site. Officials say the project would create 1,200 new jobs. Council also approved the construction of a new DDOT indoor transit center at Woodward near 8 Mile.
What happened to Grosse Pointe Woods mother Joanne Matouk-Romaine?
Tonight, the Local 4 defenders continue their investigation into her death, why a judge, in her opinion, said disputed facts in this case are very disturbing and remain unsolved. Here's Hank.
An important scam alert from the Better Business Bureau. I'm going to show you what thieves are doing right now to get your personal information and your money. It's coming up in my Help Me Hank report.
They're called challenge trials, deliberately infecting healthy volunteers with coronavirus to see if a vaccine works. I'm Dr. Frank McGeorge. Coming up, I'll show you who's moving closer to starting a challenge trial and who's volunteering to be part of it.